Hey guys, Jess here with another update for my 2019 Big Rig Group build, the 359 Peterbilt. So, I'm a little bit behind, and I got a couple of really good reasons for that. In mid-January, I was preparing for a job interview for the position of bus supervisor at a city school around here, and unfortunately I did not get the position. But it's kind of okay because that was a pretty big school. When I say big, that was a 50-plus bus operation. And even when I drove bus, there was only like 22 or 23 of us or something like that. But, so yeah, I didn't get it. The other thing is that school district is going to be going through some major changes. So they needed somebody that really probably had the experience, plus they, maybe experience in going through those type of changes and rerouting and things like that. On a happier note, I have my application in up at the school that I went to, which is A, close to home, B, my home school, like that's the one I attended, so I know it. I'm familiar with it. I'm familiar with the policies and everything. Plus, it's a smaller operation, so less drivers. So, 24 or 25 drivers, and a lot of them I've known since I was little. So, if I got that position, that would be fan-freaking-tastic. But that actually will not be open until, they won't be really picking anybody until July, August. So, but that's kind of a good thing, because the next part of my story about why I haven't been working on my truck is, it was my birthday a couple days ago. My birthday's actually January 29th, but my mom told me on Friday the 25th that we could go to the trampoline park for my birthday, and I was so stoked about doing that. And I know, well, my dad said, you're not as young as you used to be. I just turned 36, and he said, you're not as young as you used to be, this might not be a good idea. And I was kind of like, what could possibly go wrong, Dad? Trampoline park, this is so cool, my brothers and sisters are coming, everybody's coming, it's gonna be so fun. So yeah, it was a blast, till about 20 minutes in when I fell and dislocated my knee. So I really messed it up. I'm looking at surgery, gonna be off work for a while. So I'm pretty upset about that. On one hand I'm like, yay, I get to stay home and build my models, but then on the other hand you're like, man, I got no income coming in, this is not good. So trying to do the best I can and trying to stay positive, but yeah, so that was my birthday. But enough about me, let's talk about the truck. So basically yesterday I was working on it a little bit. I've got a lot of the pieces dechromed. If anybody, Harbor Freight sells these nice containers with these dividers, and I find it really useful for my models. Like, I've got one that's got the fire truck pieces in it. I've got another one that's got just tools and stuff in it, and they're really cool because you can put everything in here that you're working on. You can keep things separated. Yeah, I got my Tamiya putty down in there. But anyways, so yeah, so I dechromed like the fuel tanks and the smokestacks and stuff, and this one I was using the white Vallejo putty on to try and clean up that line. The ends are coming out okay, sort of. They're, obviously that's a big area, so it's easier to sand that off and get that smooth, but these in between here with the, try to get that to pick it up, okay, right there. Trying to get in between these fittings and stuff is kind of difficult, but yeah. Anyway, so I'm trying to get all the seam lines cleaned up. On these little air tanks, I think I've got most of them. They're pretty good. The smokestacks, let me find the one here. I had a little incident a couple weeks ago. In case anybody needs to know, Tamiya glue does not stick to school bus windows, which is what this glass is down here, or the directions, because I soaked these directions the first couple pages, and I mean, you can't even tell, this looks like new. Obviously if you would have dumped water on it, it would like stick together and mess it all up, but yeah, this was all soaking. The glue spilled right on this smokestack. I don't know if I can get it to focus, but anyways, it kind of crazed it a little bit and made the the indentation's a little weird, but I don't think you'll notice it really once the truck is built. I think it's going to be enough visually stimulating that you're not going to notice that this is a little bit off right here. But yeah, anyways, yeah, it stunk up my room really bad, but it does not stick to glass or paper, so yeah, in case you need to know. Let's see what else here. Oh, the engine. Yeah, I'm going to talk about the engine. Okay, so we got the engine pretty well put together. That goes like that. Anyway, the directions don't want you to put this top piece on until after you get the engine down in the frame. I may put it on or I may not. I'm not really sure what I want to do yet, but it's going to be yellow. It's a Cat 3406. So according to the pictures I found online, it should be yellow, not tan like the directions say. And then I'm just looking for different, I was trying to find different, like the air compressor, what color should that be? And this piece here, this fuel pump, is supposed to be yellow. So, but I do want to paint some of this up a little bit so that it's different. So when you look at it, it'll be different. But anyway, so yeah, that's put together. That's pretty much ready to go, ready to be painted. I can't go any farther on that until I paint it yellow. Then we can start picking out the details and doing some panel line accents and things like that. So there's that. Let's see. Okay. Yesterday I was trying to get this ready because I would like to get it painted. And basically I want to make my cuts, stretch it, and then glue all the components. Like this axle is not really glued on here. It's just sort of sitting on there so we can see where it's, what needs to happen. But basically I've got to make a cut here to stretch the frame. I've got to make a cut here to make this extend to the end of the bed, and then I'm trying to remove this. Now, I've been using just regular hobby knife to try and cut this off. Just making scores along here. I had asked my dad yesterday if I could use a hacksaw blade to do this cut here. He said he thought a hacksaw blade would tear up the plastic too much. He suggested I use a Dremel with a cutting, the cutting attachment. If anybody has ideas about how you do this in order to get a good cut, without tearing that up and to get it nice and straight, please leave a comment down there and let me know how you do it. I do have a Dremel-like thing that I can use to maybe make this a little bit faster, but I'm not sure if that would be a good idea. I'm not sure if what if I slip and hit something else, or anyways, let me know what you think. Like I said, I think that the knife will do it eventually, but it's just taken forever to try, to keep scoring it over and over again here. I also tried to cut it down here too, but I think if I do this, you're still going to have to do something with all this up here. You'll still have this part that's sitting on the frame. So, yeah, if anybody knows what the best way to do that is, please leave a comment and let me know how you would do it. Okay. 2 cuts. Alright, so we gotta talk about the flatbed itself now. Set this aside for a second. Alright, so we've got these two. Okay. So what's going on here is we have the cross members and like the framework. I don't know what I want to call this, the outside of this, but this framework. I'm going to build this one first, and I'm going to use Luke Towan's method of doing this. He's from Boulder Creek Railroad on YouTube. He does basically model railroad stuff, but a lot of it I think can be flipped over to plastic as well. So what we're going to do is cut out all these cross members. This is kind of like a jig or whatnot to make sure that I get the right length. Then when it comes time to put this all together, we'll glue this down with spray adhesive to a piece of cardboard or something, and then we'll put the spray adhesive on here and then lay these pieces in up against these frames, and then once they're all tacked down with that adhesive, I can come through with the glue and just hit each joint. all the way down. And then the one thing I do have to watch though is to make sure that the cross members sit down enough for the decking to be flush with this, because this piece here is this piece here. So I do have to watch how I put them together, and this will be thick enough. I can't remember what the exact dimensions are that I bought, but I know it's going to be thick enough that this will fit down, and then this will go down, to make that decking flat. Anyways, so you kind of get the idea there. Okay, so then the way this kind of will work is where you see the blue is the back of the cab, where you see the red is the space between the body and the cab, and the black is the header. So this is the header, and what I'm going to do is use either this styrene. I picked this up kind of a while ago. Either this stuff, or I'll use, like old Sheets cards or old, I don't want to say credit cards, but like that type of plastic. Or around here we have O'Reilly's Auto Parts, and a lot of times if you buy so much, they'll send you in the mail a little card, and a lot of times it expires in a month, so you end up with like all these little plastic cards, and I just think that would probably work to put that together. Plus it's got some thickness to it, so I think it'll be okay. I think that'll work. And then these of course are the pieces, so I know I need to cut two of these and two of these, and that's how that header will go. And of course the header is this, it will sit right here. It's that black piece. But anyway, so the truck sits here, and of course we're going to stretch the frame, so we'll make the cut here. So this part here will have to slide back. This axle will be in line with this red line. And then, like I was saying earlier, I need to square this end off and build the rest of the frame. Slide that picture. Build the rest of the frame out to here. The one thing I did not design yet was the bumper, but the bumper, the reason is I can't design that until the flatbed, until this is on here and this is on wheels. And I won't use exact dimensions. In other words, I know, I'm going to show you a sketch here. I know what these pieces are thickness wise. I don't know what they are length wise. So what this is this is the back of the flatbed. Then there's like a diamond plate piece here, and then the tail lights, these will have to be cut off the piece that's got the mud flaps over there, and then these are the mud flaps on the, and then this is the bumper. And I have the dimensions for what these pieces are, but I have not bought any parts yet. I think I'll go to the hobby store once we're closer, and once I know what my lengths and stuff are going to be. We'll just sort of eyeball it to get it to look real. If you know what I'm trying to explain. Like I don't know. I mean, in real life, this truck is about maybe 4 foot off the ground, this part. So, but I think it'll look alright. It just needs, I just can't really design it until the truck's more put together. The drive shaft was the other thing I wanted to talk about really quickly. Let me grab this. Okay, this is what I was talking about, the lights. Here's the mud flaps. These lights will have to be cut off and moved. The drive shaft is the other thing. This part of the drive shaft goes from the cab to the first axle. And basically what I'm going to do is cut off these ends, here and here, and then we're just going to use a piece of the sprue. I used the calipers and I measured it, and this is pretty much the same thickness as this. It may be a little off, but that's okay. You know, it'll look right. And I think that's, you know, instead of just trying to buy something, I think that would work the same too, to get the length that I need. So anyways, that's where I'm at right now. Like I said, parts have been ordered. I think they'll be here later this week or something like that. So we'll have to wait and see once I get them. But I was trying to get it to the point where I could assemble the bed. You know, I'd be ready to get to that point. You know, have this frame already lengthened out and be ready to roll. But I don't know. We'll have to see. Anyways, so yeah. So that's what I have. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. I really appreciate that. and I like watching everybody else's builds too. I hope everything's going okay with everybody, and yeah, just keep building, and I guess I'll talk to you next time. Thank you.